All right, welcome back everyone to Vuln Vibes. Ready for another deep dive.
Absolutely. Always ready to dig into the latest security news.
You know it, and today we are looking at Google's latest Chrome update, version 134.
Ah, yes, 134, pretty significant one as far as updates go.
Yeah, and we aren't just doing a typical Patch Tuesday recap here.
Right, gonna go deeper.
Exactly. Deeper, we are going beyond those headlines and really want to analyze what trends we are seeing from these 14 vulnerabilities.
14. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there.
Especially with that high-severity flaw, in the V8 JavaScript engine.
Can't overlook that one.
Definitely not. I
No.
mean, this update really deserves a closer look, and I think it is safe to say everyone here knows their stuff.
Yeah, our listeners are pros.
Exactly. Certified security folks. So let's skip the security 101. No need to talk about MITRE, ATT and CK, or kill chains or anything like that.
Straight to the good stuff.
Right to the heart of it. Let's jump right into that deep end, shall we?
Let's do it.
So this isn't just about looking at each vulnerability in isolation, right?
Definitely not. It is about understanding the bigger picture, how these vulnerabilities fit into the evolving attack landscape.
Exactly. So let's start with, I guess you could say, the main attraction, CVE 2025-1914.
Oh yeah, the big one.
A big one, right? An out-of-bounds read in V8.
And reported by Zhangheng Xiao and Nan Wang, they snagged a cool $7,000 for that one.
Nice. Good for them. Good for them. Can you break it down for us, though? Like, what makes this vulnerability so concerning?
Okay, so imagine this. You got a hacker, right? And they're trying to steal sensitive info.
Classic.
Yeah, but they're trying to steal it from your browser's memory. That's where this vulnerability comes in.
Yeah, but
It is like giving them a skeleton key. They can reach past outside of those allowed boundaries and potentially grab passwords, financial data, you name it.
that's a lot of sensitive information just floating around.
And the thing is, JavaScript is everywhere. It is powering almost every website we visit.
So it's not just contained. It's got a wide reach.
Massive reach. That's what makes this so risky.
So I'm looking at the list of vulnerabilities addressed in this update. And beyond that, the V8 one, there are a couple of recurring themes that I'm seeing.
Interesting. What have you noticed?
Well, first off, we've got multiple issues in PDFIM and media components.
Yeah, those are showing up more and more.
Right. And then there are several vulnerabilities that are classified as inappropriate implementations.
Ah, yes. Those are interesting.
Yeah, and these are popping up in places you wouldn't necessarily think of as, high security risks, right? Like things like the browser UI, media stream, even permission prompts.
Yeah, it is a bit of a shift, isn't it?
It is. What do you make of all this?
Well, I think it shows how attackers are getting more, I guess you could say, creative.
Creative, yeah.
They are targeting those everyday features, the ones we don't always think of as security risks, right?
Right. It's like, I don't know, finding a loose brick in a wall might not seem like much, but it's
Yeah.
an entry point.
Exactly. And once they're in, who knows what they can do?
So we are talking about like a much wider attack surface within the browser itself. Is this something new? Is this a change in strategy for attackers? Or are we potentially looking at, some architectural weaknesses in Chrome?
I'd say it's probably a little bit of both, to be honest. Attackers are always, looking for those weaknesses, constantly probing. And as browsers become more and more complex, that just creates more opportunities, doesn't it?
Makes sense. Makes sense.
And the fact that we are seeing all these, inappropriate implementation issues, that suggests that even those basic, seemingly simple features, they need that really robust security baked in right from the start, right from development.
So it is a bit of a wake-up call then.
I think so, for developers, for security teams, everyone involved, really.
We also can't forget about, CVE 2025-1915, medium severity flaw in dev tools, and CVE 2025-1916, use after free vulnerability in profiles.
Right. Those are worth noting, too.
What really stood out to me, though, was the dev tools thing.
Interesting target.
Yeah, why would attackers even bother with something like that?
Well, think about it. If you can compromise a development environment, think of the downstream impact.
Oh, okay.
Imagine injecting malicious code into let's say, a popular browser extension, but you do it while it's still being developed.
Oh, wow.
Suddenly, thousands, maybe even millions of users are at risk.
That's a lot of damage.
So it is a very high-value target for attackers, especially those who really want to maximize their impact.
Makes you think about the whole life cycle, right? We're not just talking about securing the end product anymore.
Exactly. Security needs to be a part of the entire development journey.
So we've got all these vulnerabilities. We are seeing these trends emerge. What's the key takeaway here? What do our listeners really need to know?
Well, I think Chrome 134 is a really good example of how a multi-layered security approach is it's not even optional anymore. It's essential.
It's a must.
It's table stakes, and you got to think beyond just patching those obvious holes, right? You got to consider all those potential attack vectors. We're talking UI elements, developer tools, those features that seem harmless. You got to look at everything.
So, kind of, taking a more holistic approach.
Absolutely. And this update, it's like a roadmap showing us where attackers are focusing their energy. So let's use that to our advantage. Let's stay one step ahead.
Stay ahead of the curve, great advice. And as always, stay vigilant out there, everyone.
You know it.